What is up, geeks and geekettes? It's another episode of the Countdown to the Geekcast. My name is Steady. With me on this episode is the man, the myth, the legend. You know him as JC.
Hey, everybody.
And the man behind the magic, the one and only Joe Garcia. What's going on, Joe?
Hey, what's good, man? I'm just excited to be here and being able to talk about Star Wars, especially that Mandalorian episode. We'll get to that later, but I'm even wearing the hat, man. I'm excited.
Ooh-wee. This is our first live episode in over a year. Our last live episode was in October of 2019. I was outside of 13th Floor, one of my favorite all-time episodes. I was joined by Jen from Jen Lee Cosplay, and we spoke with the owner of 13th Floor. We also got to meet with some of the actors from the haunted house. We had a great time. I can't believe we haven't had a live show since then, but we all know why. But we're here today to talk all about Star Wars. We also have some geeky weekly headlines we're going to get into. And at the very end of the show, I have an announcement. We're going to do something fun for the month of December.
Fun for who?
Oh, just wait, my
Fun
friend.
for
Just
who?
wait.
God dang. All right.
We're going to tell him about the costume he has to wear later, I guess.
That's right. That's right.
Pay me enough. Couldn't pay me enough.
Be prepared. We're also going to talk about this epic episode with The Mandalorian, Chapter 13, which revealed the first live-action iteration of Ahsoka Tano. But first, we're going to talk about some very sad news. Over the weekend, we all learned that Star Wars legend, original Darth Vader, David Prowse, passed away at the age of 85. His daughter revealed he had been diagnosed with COVID, and our hearts go out to his family, to all of the Star Wars fans around the world. I did meet him once at a convention here in San Antonio. Genuinely nice guy. Didn't get to speak very long. He had a huge line of people waiting to meet him as well. But he was just sort of like a gentle giant when I met him. And if you want to read thoughts from Mark Hamill, we had reposted his statement on the passing of David, and you can read that on our Facebook page at Countdown to the Geekcast. JC, Joe, and you guys ever get to meet David in the past?
I never did.
No.
Never did. I just hear a lot of good things about him.
Oh, yeah.
We're as cool in the conventions as you are, Ted. But, nothing but nice things to say about him. In a way, when the remastered versions of like 4, 5, and 6 came out, and they replaced his image at the very end of Return of the Jedi with Hayden Christensen, you almost feel he was like the forgotten Vader.
Oof.
But he's still that iconic scene where the mask comes off and there he is. So it's tough. I mean, he was the first time you saw Vader's face on screen, it was his face.
That's right.
Something he'll always be remembered for. And true fans will definitely remember who he is.
Yeah.
So.
And he's part of the OG crew. I mean, he's part of A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
And again, our thoughts, our prayers go out to everybody, his friends, his colleagues. He has worked with so many great people behind the scenes, all the actors, all the people who worked on Star Wars with him. Just a tremendous loss. But I love seeing all the photos coming out now with David, not just on the set of Star Wars, but he was a strongman competitor or a weightlifter. So he's just lifting all kinds of people and different objects. So it's just great seeing all these old photos of him just being happy, doing what he loves. And we're going to remember him always as the legend of Darth Vader.
Yeah, I was watching some tributes that some fans had made of him and posted them on YouTube. And one of them was actually showing his line of work, the various movies that he had a cameo or he had a little part to play in. And you just are just awed by his stature, how big this guy actually was. And everybody that worked with him always said he was just such a gentle giant. He was a really nice guy. always willing to help others. Just somebody who just liked to have fun and enjoyed life in general. You know, he was always joking around and having fun. You see him behind the scenes in some of the videos, and he's just laughing on set with other cast members. You know, so it's kind of sad too, because a lot of the OGs that starred in the original Star Wars, we're starting to lose them now. You know,
Sure.
now we just have Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill, you know,
And Anthony Daniels.
and Anthony Daniels. But it's like, wow, man, it's like really makes you think about things, you know, puts things in perspective that these characters that are so beloved, we're starting to lose the people who portrayed these characters that we love on screen. So that's really starting to hit home now, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Again, our thoughts are with everyone. It's a tremendous loss in the Star Wars community, and you know, he's gonna live on forever as one of the best on-screen villains in history, if you will. So our thoughts are with David. He's one with the Force now. We also have coming up rapid fire, sort of quick topics, if you will. We're not going to do a whole lot of discussion around these, but we wanted to let you know a few of these items. First of which is that we have a grand opening date. I know JC loves this, but I don't know when he's going to get to go. We got a grand opening date for Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios in Japan. The theme park will open February 4th of next year, 2021. If you want to see some photos, they've released some additional pictures from inside the theme park. You can see those by just scrolling through the timeline on, again, our Facebook page at Countdown to the Geekcast. I would be excited to visit, but I know it's probably going to be a while before I fly all the way to Japan for it. But it looks absolutely spectacular. One of the stills they released was from the Mario go-kart ride. I can't even imagine what that's going to be like, but I'm excited. I can't wait for them to do something like that over here in the States at one of the two Universal parks, either in Orlando or in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Everything looks so good, you know, when you're seeing the pictures of what is to come, all the renditions, you know, and they even have like this huge grand staircase, and at the very top they have Bowser. Ooh. You know, this imposing figure, Bowser, sitting at the top of the staircase just waiting for you. And you even see some of the renderings of the rides, and they have the roller coaster, and everything is the carts from Mario Kart. I mean, this is right up JC's alley right here. We need to really get him a GoFundMe account started so we can send him.
That's right.
You know, in a few years, we're planning to take the kids to Disney World when they're old enough to appreciate it. I'll see if I can convince Tina to say, hey, let's go to Japan instead. There's something I want to check out, you know. But
there you go.
that I want to visit Japan as it is, and this is just giving me another reason to want to go find the land of Hyrule, hang out with Mario, see what kind of Animal Crossing town that they have set up there. There's everything, man. It's what I grew up made in the 80s right here on the hat.
There you go.
One day that's a dream to visit that.
They do have a Disney World in Japan, so there you go.
Oh, I know. Maybe I can sneak that away. Yeah, let's just take a trip to Osaka too.
See, don't even tell her like where you're going. Just get her on the plane. Like, hey, we're flying to Disney World, and 20 hours later, you're like, why didn't say which one?
Well, why are you packing your Mario Kart T-shirt, JC?
Why are you wearing this Animal Crossing shirt again? You know?
There you go. Hopefully she's not watching, or else she's gonna figure out the entire scheme.
She's too smart, man. She'll figure it out. So.
All right. So again, if you want to see those photos, head on over to our Facebook page at Countdown to the Geekcast. Scroll through the timeline, look for that glorious logo, Super Nintendo World, and check out those photos. Let us know your thoughts. And tag a friend who wants to go eventually.
We have a comment, JC.
Yeah, Nick Kramer says it's being built in Universal Studios Hollywood 2. Will be ready between 2021 and 2022. You better not be teasing me, Nick. I swear to God.
If Nick says
Yeah.
I know Nick. If Nick
Universal Orlando
says
2023. Cool. That's about the time we're planning to take the kids to Orlando. So
Look at how quickly JC
All right.
got excited.
yeah,
that's right,
got to throw more in the savings now. Nick,
it's
you better
all
be
coming
damn
together,
right.
man.
You
It's
better be
all
right.
coming together.
He's like, you know what? The hell
Ugh.
with these, with everybody. I'm gonna bounce, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna be spending the day at Animal Crossing World.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a
Again,
camper.
Again, I know Nick, so if Nick says that's happening, it's definitely happening, and
All
he's
right.
probably already got a ticket. That's how well I know Nick Kramer.
He's in
So
charge of the construction or some shit like
that's
that.
what he's.
No.
Yeah,
He's
so.
he's got an outfit like a hard hat, and he's
The
already
Mario
inside.
Maker hard hat. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I hope the construction workers are wearing Mario Maker hard hats. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would.
So, yeah,
There you go.
Oh, Jesus
Uh,
Perez said he heard the same thing
that's
as well.
that's Jericho right there.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Jericho, waiting for you, man. Take your time though. We're waiting for you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Next topic on the agenda: Mads Mikkelsen is officially been announced to replace Johnny Depp in the Fantastic Beasts franchise. We all know that Johnny's been going through some personal struggles with his ex-wife Amber Heard. They've been in and out of trials, and it's just gotten ugly to the point that now WB is dropping Johnny Depp from the Fantastic Beasts franchise, and he's been replaced with a very substantial actor, though. So it's not a complete loss, but fans have been supporting Johnny through this whole ordeal in a major way, and there's been petitions now ranging in the hundreds of thousands of signatures to keep Johnny in the project and all future.
Oh, Ted dropped off.
And this is what happens when you're live. So
Yeah.
we'll just have to wait for him to come back up.
Yeah, well, we have Angel M. Perez Jr. said Harry Potter Land is huge. The motorcycle ride is badass. Having those two together will be so sick. I can imagine. I mean, Universal's going to
Yeah.
have everything, dude.
It's going to be the go-to place, and yeah, my wife and I are already Harry Potter fans, wanted to go check that out, and so Nintendo's going to give me another reason to go over there as well. So
Yeah, and they also have the Amazing Spider-Man.
yeah.
So you have that as
So-
well. Plus, they have Transformers, Minions,
Mhm.
Jaws. They have a slew of licensed areas out there. It's always expanding and getting bigger. So if you get tired of the Disney World, then you can go to Universal.
Angel, it's good to see you again too. I know it's been a while. It's one of my buddies from Houston. So
Cool. Well, here we go. Ted's coming back.
Oh man,
live stream, baby. There you are.
gotta love live TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's our show for today.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Where'd you guys leave off? You
were-
talk about
You were
the
talking
replacement
about
yet?
Mads Mikkelsen.
Well, we're just commenting some of the comments we're getting through. My buddy Angel was talking about how Harry Potter's land is really cool.
Mm.
Motorcycle ride's badass. Nick was sharing a link about the Super Nintendo World being built. So
Gracias, senor.
yeah,
Yeah, back
as-
to the story.
yeah. As far as Mads Mikkelsen, I like the casting. I mean, the guy's pretty versatile. He's been in Doctor Strange. He's I mean, I think he'll serve it well. I know Depp and Amber Heard, and they're dealing with legal issues and internet petitions, and hopefully that all plays out. Obviously, I think Johnny Depp fits that role, but the movie's got to go on somehow. Why they pulled him? There's just a lot going on, and WB wants to make sure stuff gets made, especially with what's going on right now. But I guess I think it's a good replacement for Depp. It's not going to be the same, but the studio's got to work with what they got, and they hand their dealt. So yeah.
It's one of the biggest shames is not only was Johnny such a great actor for the role,
Mhm.
but if you go back a couple of years, San Diego Comic-Con 2018, during the Warner Brothers presentation, Johnny came out in full Grindelwald gear, makeup, hair, everything, and took over the entire show. It was a great surprise because he wasn't announced, maybe expected to be there. He's not really the convention type, as
No.
you would imagine, but he came out, surprised the entire Hall H crowd, and did his one of the speeches he had in that movie. I think that first one. No, the second one. One of the speeches he had in the second one, I believe. He just did the entire thing in front of the crowd, and it was just glorious. The fans ate it all up. I was going crazy, and it was a good time. So just to go from that moment, him taking on that role, and doing it in front of the entire Hall H crowd, to now here we are, him being replaced because of these unfortunate events. It's just crazy, insane.
Yeah, Depp's commitment to his characters is just amazing. I mean, you've seen videos of him dressed up in full Captain Jack Sparrow garb, just making kids smile is pretty awesome. So,
Yep.
that's definitely going to be missed. That's one aspect about him that'll be missed in this series. But you never know. Maybe this stuff gets delayed again, considering the way cases are going right now, and maybe they find a way to get him back in. So it's one of those things.
Yeah, I think Mads Mikkelsen's a really good actor, but it's going to be a different take on Grindelwald. And that's the thing when things like this happen, is that we, the fans, get accustomed to the character that's being portrayed on screen. We kind of form this attachment. And then when they're portrayed by a different actor, it kind of changes the complexion of the character on screen as far as that performance goes. So you got to take it in stride and say, while you really liked what Johnny Depp was able to do with Grindelwald, you also have to give the due respect to, Mads Mikkelsen and seeing what he can do with the character. Because it's going to be different, but it's still going to be Grindelwald up there on the screen. So I'm willing to give it a shot and see what happens. If they're able to get Johnny back into the film, that'll be the best thing for this franchise moving forward. Because isn't this next movie going to be the last in this trilogy? From what I believe.
Probably so.
Right?
Until Warner Brothers wants to make more money off of Harry Potter. Angel, like pirates, he'll be back for the next movie once the dust settles.
Oof! But now we're hearing rumors about there being just sort of a new spin-off of the Pirates franchise with a female lead. Not a problem, but no Johnny is from what the rumors are starting out to be. So I hope that's not the case. But he needs to get back on his feet. I can imagine he just wants all of this drama past him already, and any way to do that, I think he would, really enjoy that, and then just get back to work. But hopefully, he doesn't get pulled from just every project that he's working on. That'd be terrible.
I would love for him to keep going because he's a once in a lifetime talent, and for our generation, this is something special when he's on screen.
So. Oh yeah, most definitely. But Pirates of the Caribbean's kind of run its course already. I think they need to just end that franchise and do something different. Can we get a Pirates of Dark Water movie made? Who's a fan of Pirates of Dark Water?
How many Fast and the Furious movies do we have?
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
So are they going to have the Pirates of the Caribbean in outer space?
Hey, if that's what it takes. I'm just saying, if we have that many Fast and Furious movies, Pirates hasn't run its course yet. So, Edward Scissorhands. I don't know about that, Angel. That Edward Scissorhands is classic.
Don't touch that one. Don't touch that one.
Never gonna be done. Not without Burton, especially.
Yeah. It won't be the same movie.
No.
Yeah. Definitely not. All right. That was the update with Johnny Depp and the situation with the Fantastic Beasts franchise. And up next, if you missed it, Marvel paid tribute to Chadwick Boseman, who I believe yesterday was his 44th birthday, or would have been. They honored him by updating the Marvel logo before Black Panther. You can see it on Disney Plus right now, and it's just Chadwick throughout the logo. It's beautiful. It's small detail, but it's very meaningful for all the fans. And all of his family and friends, I'm sure. You guys get a chance to check it out?
Yeah, I got to see it. I thought it was a really good touch. It's very subtle, but for the diehard fans that pay attention to every aspect, this is paying them some fan service. And Jericho puts, "Don't compare Pirates and Fast and the Furious."
Noted.
I'm just saying. I'm not comparing. I'm just saying. That's all.
You're gonna get a mad Jericho, JC. He's gonna come after
Pirates
you.
in space. Well, if it gets him on the show, and whatever, I did my job. So, the Chadwick Boseman intro was a nice touch. A fitting everyone's just speculating how are they gonna handle his passing with the next Black Panther movie and in the MCU going forward. They've got the time to figure it out, but
Yeah.
in the meantime, this little intro, I mean, I've watched Black Panther a couple times since his passing. I ran across a Black Panther ornament, was able to add that to our Christmas tree this year.
Nice.
And yeah, luckily HEB had it. I was like, zoink, before somebody takes that, So there's gonna be a lot of tributes, and I think this is definitely a fitting one for Chadwick in the movie that arguably was one of the most anticipated ones of the entire MCU, and it's very fitting that he's the big reason why. So yeah.
Yeah, they make another
Completely
film.
agree.
It's just not going to be the same without Chadwick.
Probably not, but I mean, I have high hopes of what they can do. I mean,
Yeah.
they've been able to adapt to a lot of things that have changed. As plans change, if anything, I mean, they're adapting to this better than the NFL has this season. Let's be honest here, especially with the
Yeah.
COVID outbreak in Baltimore. So that's just the way of it right now. This
Look
is the
at
way.
Angel.
So-
Angel had a good take on this because this is what we've kind of said too. Angel Perez says, Suri, his sister, should just step into the role. It just feels right, and that's exactly what
Yeah.
we've kind of said too.
Yeah, and same for you, Nick. I don't think they need to recast Suri, the new Black Panther. They do kind of tease that a bit if you watch Black Panther closely. That maybe the plan all along was for her to take over, maybe somewhere down the line. Now, obviously, they're just having to fast forward that right now. Whether they write it off as T'Challa passing, maybe deciding to settle down and step away from royalty, who knows? But Shuri would be perfect to take over that role. I mean, she's got the wit, she's got the smarts, and yeah, it's another female lead to complement what they have going on in the MCU. So
Yeah, most definitely.
And I've said in the past that if they decide to go that route, I'm all for it. Support it 100%. If they decide not to, though, if they decide to keep Shuri in sort of that Oracle type role where she's sort of the eyes and ears for the hero, she's one half of the hero. Black Panther is a hero, but the technology, the weapons, all of that is done by her. So if you decide to just take that mantle, give it to somebody else, and she still gets to play sort of the support role for the hero, I'm also not gonna be mad at that because I feel like should she take on the Black Panther mantle, I don't know who replaces her as the support role for being the eyes and ears, the brain behind the whole operation.
what's Spider-Man's buddy's name? The guy in the lab, the guy in the computer
Ned.
behind the desk, Ned.
Ned.
Yeah, just bring Ned in. He did a pretty good job in Far From. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. I don't
Do
know.
it.
But you know what? They turned Shuri to in the Black Panther kind of like what they do with Alfred and Batman.
Yeah.
He's the guy that helps create some of the weapons and maintenance and kind of in Batman's ear, directing him and giving him information. The Punisher, another good example. If you read the comic rendition, the Punisher has a good buddy of his that's always driving around in a van that kind of hangs back and is giving him information when he needs it. Kind of like somebody in your ear, whispering details to you. I was like, I don't want to see Shuri be designated to that because she's so innovative in what she can build as far as her technology, and she has a good mind, and she's out there wanting to fight. I think it's the perfect, segue. T'Challa goes and passes away. Shuri picks up the mantle as the new Black Panther and spearheads this movement to show this female empowerment. It's a strong female character. I think it's a great idea.
Alamo City Movie Talk. I assume that's Ryan posting because he's all over social media. Keep at it, guys. The whole situation is crucial. Every move they make is going to define the whole Black Panther franchise. I'll take it a step further and say that this will probably define the MCU as a whole. I think arguably Black Panther, maybe Spider-Man, was going to be the new lead hero of the next phase of the MCU. So this is going to be definitely something big for what Marvel Studios is going to be doing going forward. And Angel had the same thought you did about Alfred, so he's going to say that about Alfred as well. So
Yeah.
He also says as long as they don't have her take don't have her take Black Panther, and some little girl takes over as Tony Iron Man. Can't do both. Yeah. So. So
I agree. So whatever they decide, I'm going to support it 100%. They honestly didn't see this coming. All the executives at Marvel Studios, weren't made fully aware, and it's not their business to be made aware, but they didn't have any chance at all to plan for this. So whatever they decide to do, I know it's going to be incredible, and all the fans are going to be there to support them no matter what.
Yep.
Gentlemen, let's get into the main topic of tonight, The Mandalorian, chapter 13, the reveal of Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano. I don't think Veronique owes us any money, does she? Or does she
No.
not? Because it didn't happen last week, right?
No,
Yeah,
but
last week.
if we should just say that she does anyway, because I need to buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, I told her I had my dollar spent already. I was gonna flip that dollar and buy a lotto ticket and probably win $100 and split it 3 ways with you guys.
There you go. Let's.
First of all, before we get, obviously spoiler alert, but can we make a rule here?
Uh-oh.
Now, I say social media dark, but when an episode comes out, can we just say 24 hours, no spoilers online, and just let people get a chance to watch it? Not all of us are crazy enough to stay awake till 2
If they didn't watch it at 2:02, that's their fault.
Some of us have lives, or there's sleep. I need sleep.
I have no mercy, dude. If
Star Wars is
you didn't watch it,
alive.
boom, there's a spoiler.
Well, I still have social media for that reason, but yeah. So
to be absolutely fair, we did not post anything until Disney posts something. When Disney posts something, then it's all fair game. After
I
that.
posted something around 8:00, but then I took it down because then I started getting people saying,
didn't say
you should
anything.
take it down.
I didn't say anything.
You spoiled it for me. You ruined it for me. Well, freaking watch the damn show when it comes out at 2:02. Why are you crying?
We need to understand that we are now in Game of Thrones spoiler rules. Like, it's just a free-for-all. Stay off social media. You won't get it from us, but you will just be disappointed because it's just no holds barred right now.
Turn off
Everybody's just
but I'm with JC.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with JC though. I don't want to ruin it for people going forward, so I'm gonna go abide by the rule and wait 24 hours and then put something up there.
Angel, well, we're getting to the episode. He says he loved the white lightsabers. He says, who knew fluorescent lights could be so badass? Ooh. Bro, I have been to some crazy hardcore wrestling matches where fluorescent light bulbs are used often. Trust me, I know how badass they are, but this is a whole new take on it. Yeah, I agree.
There you go. Whole new ball game.
Let's get into the episode because Ryan's posting comments and he's nitpicking shit. So I want.
Well, he has a right to. Man. He has a right to.
No, but he can't just enjoy an episode. Quit nitpicking and enjoy the damn thing.
He's our Jeff Garcia. Ryan's our Jeff Garcia.
Okay.
And our Rob. We already have a Jeff Garcia. His name is Rob.
His name is Rob. Yeah.
Yeah. So, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So the episode starts out surprisingly with an epic fight sequence with Ahsoka Tano taking on a handful of just random thugs. And I love this because she's still utilizing her very unique fighting style that Yoda taught her always to fight like yourself on Rebels. And so she's still using that same technique that Yoda told her to just run with it. It's you, it's who you are. And she's still badass doing it. And utilizing this stealth technique. It's almost like the Predator, just like running in and out of the fog. And I just loved every second of this. I was jumping up and down 2 a.m. in the morning, trying not to just scream because the rest of the family was asleep. But I absolutely loved it. And let's get your initial takes. Joe, let's start with you.
Well, my initial take was I thought if they're going to show Ahsoka, she's going to make a small appearance. It's not going to be, a full episode. It's probably going to be a 5-minute little teaser at the very end. This one, Disney just dropped the ball, just like, boom, they hit you right in the face with the haymaker to start this episode. Because what do you get? Full on Ahsoka. And you get it right away with the lightsabers. She's battling and you're like, oh my God. And then
it's beautiful.
it's beautiful the way they progressed it. They just started the episode off right away with her, and then you get the intro credits from the Mandalorian, and then after that you still just are like you're trying to catch your breath, and you're still getting a heavy dose of Ahsoka, So to me, that they finally gave us the fan service that we deserved. We the fans wanted more than just 5 minutes of live action Ahsoka. There was some little differences between the live action version and the animated version. Her head tails were made shorter because the live action Ahsoka has to actually do the stunts, and if her head tails were really long, she couldn't do all these stunts, So I think it was something that fans would nitpick. And then like Ryan was saying, the name of this episode, The Jedi. Ahsoka's not a Jedi. There was really no Jedi in this movie, or not in the movie, but in this episode, should I say. So I just I understand where he's coming from, I really do. So it's like, why do they call it the Jedi, Ted, if there's no Jedi?
I have a theory on that, and we'll probably get into that right after we hear from JC. JC, I know you didn't really get into Clone Wars, the series, or
I'm
Rebels
still catching
a whole lot.
up. Yeah, Disney Plus, and then kids. So they keep wanting to watch Tots. I'm trying to get them off Disney Plus so I can watch something. But yeah, go ahead.
But give us your initial thoughts on this opening scene with Ahsoka Tano. Rosario Dawson, how epic is this?
Yeah, that's the big one. First of all, she lobbied to play this character. So when an actor or an actress they have a passion to want to play this character, it's going to be good. That opening scene where they throw you right in full line and sinker, I immediately thought, I want a video game dedicated to this character, Metal Gear Solid style or Splinter Cell, whatever the hell it is. Give me something that just give her some sort of missions or a full on thing and what she's been doing or what she's going to be doing. I think that'd be great. I thought it was awesome. I like how she's portrayed. She's aggressive. She has her own unique fighting style. And I get it. The episode's called The Jedi. Okay, maybe she's not a full-on Jedi.
In a minute.
No,
Hang on.
I want to get to that because it's pissing me off. Anyway,
Ryan says I speak the truth. I'm speaking the truth.
Yeah, but he nitpicks too much shit. Anyway, I'm on a podcast with him. I can talk shit about him. But,
there you go.
I really enjoyed seeing her in action, seeing her attitude. It was very Mace Windu-esque, her attitude. A lot of the fighting style. Mace Windu is a very aggressive Jedi fighting style, a borderline dark side, if you will. And you can tell she's got some rage. She's been through some shit. So,
she's seen some things.
Yes, yeah. So.
Joe, I don't know if you ever actually watched either the Clone Wars series or Rebels with Ahsoka.
I watched it all.
Not only does Rosario and the fight choreographers get this technique, this fighting style down really well, but even when you see in later scenes Dawson sort of grit her teeth and show sort of this animalistic sort of face, this is all very Ahsoka Tano, and I'm just loving it. It just feels like Ahsoka. And just quick FYI or Easter egg, I don't know if it's an Easter egg, but she still has her sabers that she actually kept from Rebels. If you watch Clone Wars, the series, you know what happens to her original sabers.
Yeah.
But these two that she's holding, they're actually from the Inquisitors from Rebels. So if you haven't seen Rebels, I'm not going to spoil any of that.
I thought Rebels takes place after this, though.
So we actually need to talk about that probably later on in this series for The Mandalorian.
Damn, timelines are so confusing. Yeah. So
there actually are statements now saying that The Mandalorian is kind of happening simultaneous with some of the events of Rebels. So it's not one after the other.
Yeah.
Some of these things are happening at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So once we get into a little bit more, see how the rest of The Mandalorian ends, we might have a better idea about what's happening when. But I believe that was one of the things that just came out either today or yesterday, that this moment, this episode is actually happening alongside Rebels.
Can I say something too? I want to address something because Ryan was saying some comments here, and I can see he's very passionate about Ahsoka, as a lot of fans
You
are.
have no.
I understand.
idea.
I understand where they're coming from. Because you wait so long to have this character portrayed in live action, and your expectations are very high. I think Rosario Dawson did an outstanding job as portraying Ahsoka. She had everything down to the facial expressions, the mannerisms, the way she even carried herself. The way she talked, the way she would even glance at the child. I'm not going to say his name yet because we haven't gotten to that part. But even the way she looked at him with this endearing look, that he's, she was smiling, and some of the quirks she had where she would tilt her head and things of that nature, that was dead on for Ahsoka, because you can tell Rosario Dawson did her homework to play this character. Now, if I have to nitpick something, it's going to be the fighting styles that I saw in the live action rendition of Ahsoka. I thought that the animated version was more aggressive, and I wanted to see that style translate into the live action sequences, and it didn't. And from that perspective, it left me a little underwhelmed.
She's a little older, a little harder to move around, and
Still
she
pretty
had,
aggressive though than most Jedi's would fight. Though I mean, she
I would
It just
say-
seemed too slow. The
I would
speed
say
wasn't
depending on
what it should be.
more stealth. But yeah,
probably depending on what fighting scenes you're actually speaking of in the animated series, either Clone Wars or Rebels. She had a lot more invested, I think, at certain parts of
With
that
Maul,
series.
particularly with Maul, that fighting style that she was very aggressive, no holds barred, letting it all fly out there on the table. She just went full on, almost like she was almost bordering on the verge of becoming a dark Jedi, like coming to the Sith side, and letting her rage kind of fuel her in that fight, because she knew how important ending Maul's reign was to the war.
Yeah.
So she understood that. I just didn't see that happen here, because maybe it wasn't that much of an impact, this little sequence here, but it is, because there's other things that she wanted to know about Thrawn that are imperative to what we'll talk about later. I don't want to kind of reveal that because we still got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, Ryan, about your the aggressive fighting style in the animated series in Clone Wars, she was more aggressive because she was a Jedi in training. There's a lot of youth with that. You're not keeping your emotions in check. So yeah, I can see that. Now that she's older, more experienced, having to be in hiding for so long as well. She survived Order 66, as we know, and has gone through the original trilogy story. She's had to survive and keep a low profile. It's still aggressive, but obviously it's more stealth based and stuff. And yeah, of course, trained by Anakin, who was an aggressive Jedi as enough as it is. So yeah,
she's learning to fight smarter, not harder. I understand that.
Exactly.
I just wanted to see more of this, hectic, action fueled fighting style. And I understood her actions and everything that you see on the screen are more deliberate. Yeah. It's more with a purpose. So I get that.
She was pretty, aggressive in that first scene, that first sequence. Those guys stood no chance.
Did you see what she did in that opening sequence? People didn't really understand. She used her sabers to cut that guy in half. And then the piece of the tree, she used the force and pushed it and hit the other guy in the head with it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so good.
Yeah. Very efficient.
Good.
That was efficient. That was an efficient move.
Absolutely loved it. So getting into after that initial fight, Ahsoka needs info from Morgan Elsbeth, and she is played by Diana Lee Inosanto, who is the
goddaughter Bruce Lee
of the legendary Bruce Lee. That's
Angel
pretty
pointed
amazing.
that out in our comments. Yeah. Mhm.
There you go.
So.
And let's not leave Lang out of here. Lang is played by Michael Biehn. He looks familiar. He should. He was in Alien as well as the Terminator. So yeah, I'm glad to see that they keep bringing these actors back from the 80s and early 90s and stuff.
Everybody wants to be in the Star Wars canon on some level. That's basically what it's about, and it's working out for them. It's Mandalorian's making dreams happen.
Who wouldn't want to be a part of the Mandalorian? I would even just be a janitor or something, in the background with the mop or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
So where does Mando come into play in all this? Well, he actually comes upon this village, and he is approached to hunt Ahsoka. They call her the Jedi. Let's go back to this a little bit because I know Ryan talked about it earlier. This episode is called the Jedi, but we know from previous episodes, as well as just the titles of Star Wars films, sometimes labels, names have more than one meaning. You can just try and focus on the Jedi, only referencing Ahsoka, but the Jedi could also just refer to where they're at in this current state, this current universe of the Star Wars universe. Ahsoka tells us where we find out later on Baby Yoda is from. He's part of the Jedi Temple and escaped Coruscant with the help of some unknown person. And this title, the Jedi, can to me doesn't just refer to Ahsoka, but refers to all the Jedi where they're at right now. There are very few of them just around the galaxy. We're not even sure exactly how many are around this point because fan speculation is throwing actors from old prequel movies, actors from video game franchises. We don't know exactly how many Jedi are going to be used for this series or just around in this point in time. So we probably have a good idea, but to me, the title doesn't just refer to Ahsoka; it refers to kind of where we're at with the entire Jedi Order right now.
Yeah, Ryan's from Alamo City Movie Talk. He's saying Ezra and Kanan are still around. And we're going to get to that near the end as we start getting further into the episode, because there's kind of a reference to that. And
Sure.
then Angel says, green shirt and jeans guy. I said, hey, that's my favorite character right now, the t-shirt and
There
jeans
you
guy.
go.
You know, I just
He's
want to see
canon. He's
exactly.
canon.
I just want to
Yeah.
see a reference to like somebody leaving a Starbucks cup or something out there, very Game of Thrones-ish, you know?
No, it might be like a Dunkin' Donuts coffee or something. That's what they'll go with.
Jeans
Yeah,
Guy doesn't exist anymore. They actually digitally removed him from that episode. So
smart.
Really?
I mean, Game
yeah,
of
go
Thrones
back
did
and
it
watch
too.
it.
Game of Thrones did it too with that Starbucks cup as well. So I mean, I still want the action figure. It's pretty rare.
I do too.
Yeah. As far as the title of the Jedi, yeah, it could mean all the Jedi, but look at it from the perspective of somebody on that planet, the leader of that fortress doesn't know better. They see a fighter with lightsabers who uses the Force. They're probably a Jedi. That's just and to a casual person watching, or to somebody that doesn't fully know better, that's what they're going to think. That's what they're going to see. And you're not going to have Ahsoka sitting there correcting him the whole time. Well, I'm not really a Jedi. I mean, it's just going to drag the dialogue on a little bit too long as well. So just don't have to nitpick it a little bit. They fight like a Jedi. They use the Force. They're trained. They know how to use their feelings to speak with the child. So yeah, see, yeah, there you go. He finally agrees with me on one thing. But that's kind of the idea is, how do we fight against the Jedi? How do we combat a lightsaber? And we learn more about what Beskar steel can be used for.
Ooh, yeah.
That was a pretty cool reveal itself. If we want to get into that next,
Yeah, no, that was a great reveal. Morgan decides she's going to pay Mando with a Beskar steel spear, and we find out because Mando confronts Ahsoka, or tries to at least, and surprises him. After a very short sparring session, we realize that Beskar holds up to lightsabers pretty damn well. So that's why it's probably so rare and so valuable. But yeah, so they meet. It was a very quick because he's like, no, good guy. Hold on, hang on, wait a minute. And I love the line from Rosario when he says, I need to talk to you about something. And she just looks behind and says, well, I hope it's about him.
Yeah.
And there you got the child, Baby Yoda, who a minute later we find out that his name is actually Grogu. How crazy is that?
Let's rejoice. I'm sick of this Yoda shit. Yeah, I was
No
like,
more child references.
that was a surprise. very how it's okay. I know everyone was anticipating Ahsoka's appearance. We'd heard about the Rosario Dawson casting, and they kind of kept quiet. She's playing Ahsoka. It had been teased a lot in news. To have her be the one to reveal the child's name, I thought was very cool.
Yeah.
Very a bit of a fan service to show that how important she is to this series. Makes me feel like this isn't the last we're going to see of her either. But for her to have that important part, he's been carrying this child around, has been his companion. Now we put a name to the face finally, and she's the one that revealed it. I thought that was pretty awesome.
Oh, heck
bit
yeah.
of a surprise, yeah.
There was a part here in this episode where you can really see the relationship forming between the Mandalorian and the child, or Grogu, because now you see that he feels a deeper connection to Grogu than what we thought was possible, because one of the telling tales where he's full-on parent now, there's no denying it, when he's talking with Ahsoka, he's pacing back and forth like a worried father, wondering what's going on, what's happening. He's frantically wanting to know what happened. Can you talk to him? And that's when she's like, well, kind of, we can kind of feel each other's thoughts. And she was trying to explain to him what the little guy was going through. And she's like, oh, his name is Grogu. And he's like, Grogu? And he's all, huh?
And then every time he says it, little baby Yoda turns and looks up at him like he's calling him every single time.
Yeah.
Almost like a dog when they hear him. Yeah.
Exactly. So I thought that was an important part of the episode where Mando is full on parent now.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a great little Easter egg in the sequence right before Mando confronts Ahsoka, or she gets a jump on him. There's an owl sitting on a tree, and Star Wars, Clone Wars fans of the animated series can speculate that this is actually Morai. Morai was a spirit animal of one of my favorite episodes of the Clone Wars series. Is when Anakin and Ahsoka and Obi-Wan, they get lost on. Listen, it's too hard to explain. Let's just say they have this crazy bad acid trip, and they meet let's just call them the first family of the Force, the father of the Force, and his two crazy ass kids. One of them is the son, who's represents the dark side. The other is the daughter, who represents the light side. Spoiler alert. So the daughter is represented as this owl, as a bird, and we see her a lot throughout Star Wars canon, if you will. So fans can assume this is actually her spirit once again, following Ahsoka, because she did save Ahsoka's life in that episode. Probably one of the craziest episodes of anything Star Wars has ever done, because it just dives into the origin of the Force, and it's fantastic, and it just goes absolutely crazy. So Clone Wars series, go check that one out. But cool little Easter egg with this owl sitting up on the tree.
Yeah. Clone Wars or Rebels? I think
was
Ryan's saying
Rebels.
that it was in Rebels. Yeah. So
No, thought it was.
He says it's really hard to explain that
Clone
episode.
Wars.
Better watch because it's very deep. Yeah, that's a hell of an acid trip. The way you're describing it,
It's the best way to describe it. It's a crazy acid trip,
So
because
it's Rick and Morty. Got it. You
Yeah.
made me watch Rick and Morty that one time. So what the hell is this shit? Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Bad acid trip, Star Wars style. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see, where are we at? Okay, so after, let's see, we learned from
name.
Ahsoka that Grogu was once a part of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. We just talked about that. Someone saved him. Do we believe it's somebody we already know? Any thoughts about that?
Mace Windu came back. He's all, scruffed up because he fell off of the building. He comes into the temple and he's like, what the hell's going on? Sees the little bugger in the corner and saves him because he sees what's happening. He's like, let's bounce. So I'm just saying, dude, I mean, it would be cool if it was, but more than likely it's probably going to wind up being another Jedi that maybe we're familiar with, maybe we're not, but either way, we know that he survived along with little Grogu. And then one of the telling things is little Grogu trying to give a recollection of what happened. You know, he says that he was in the temple at that point in time, but someone saved him and took him away. But then he says that after that, his memory it goes dark, it's fuzzy.
Yeah, that's
which means
interesting.
that somebody that wields the Force could have actually erased that particular memory from him, you know?
Makes
sure.
me wonder if it was someone very powerful that would have that ability to do that. Yoda's the only one that comes to mind, but
Yeah.
we know where Yoda was busy at that time, and it probably wouldn't be him. You know,
But we're also assuming it's a good guy.
yeah. I mean, it could
It
have been.
could easily be somebody using the dark side of the Force because they've been known to have those type of powers as such, is
Mhm.
to wipe away memories and whatnot. So, yeah, could either be either or. Someone, a Jedi, could have saved him from the temple, but then we know he eventually ends up in the hands of the Empire, anyways. So,
Mhm.
could be anybody.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to find out what that is all about. You know, sooner or later, even if it's just like little flashbacks, little pieces, you know, eventually it doesn't have to be this season or next, but if we can get little glimpses of trying to kind of fill in what actually happened, because that was a major scene, you know, when Anakin's going into the temple and slaying the younglings, and now you find out that little Grogu was spared, you know, but these other younglings were not. So what
I
happened?
mean, it's something that tells me maybe Grogu hid away. Maybe it was discovered
Maybe.
later. What if it was Palpatine with the idea that the M count in the blood, as we mentioned, he foresaw the fact that he might need to be resurrected on somehow, and this might be his ticket to that.
The midichlorians, JC, the
Yeah,
M
they call
count.
midichlorians.
it M
M
count,
count.
but M count's easier, bro. It sounds cooler.
It doesn't trigger anybody.
No, exactly. You know, that could be it. You know, I mean, something in there. You mentioned the dark side thing. It's possible. You know, we'll get to the ending where Mando's next mission's going to be going forward, but yeah, it very easily could have been somebody from the dark side of the Force.
Could
So
be.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Here's where things get really interesting because we tend to learn every now and then some really great aspects of the Force. We learn from Ahsoka that Grogu can lose his connection to the Force, and she says to Mando that the bond between them is too strong, and that's why she chooses not to train Grogu. That she's seeing this go very bad and very wrong in the
Yep.
past, and of course, all fans know that she's subtly hinting at one Anakin Skywalker. So,
Mhm.
pretty amazing that she's doing that. That this show is referencing Darth Vader. It's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, she doesn't want to make the same mistake that Yoda and Obi-Wan, and in a way Qui-Gon did,
Yeah.
training someone that was still attached to a parent,
Yeah.
you know, those emotions.
Yeah,
So,
because one of the things too, like she refers to is, I've seen this happen to the best of us. You
mhm.
know, that was like, that cut you deep because you could feel that.
Oh yeah.
You felt that when she said it. She knew, because you knew exactly what she was referring to. You know, because
Yep.
even in that one scene when she was going up against Vader and she cut his mask and then he turns around and he's talking to Ahsoka, you know, and she sees that it's still Anakin in that Vader
Helmet.
mask, that helmet. She's like, I'm not going to leave you this time, you know? And they have a very deep connection, you know? And you could still feel that when she said that line, you felt that shit, you know?
Mhm.
So it's still with her. It's you can feel that pain, that scar's still there. It's not going away. She feels remorse and guilt for that, you know?
There you go. We get into some action sequences. Ahsoka and Mando return to take back the village, and while Ahsoka and Morgan take a page out of Kill Bill, kind of looked like that fight scene between, I forget the fights, but yeah, looks
Crazy
just
88.
like
Yeah.
no. Well, yeah, I guess so. But Lucy Liu,
Oh,
and
Oranishi.
there you
Oranishi.
go.
Yeah.
It looked like that to me. I
Mhm.
just having flashbacks of that.
Without the snow.
Um,
Yeah.
After she defeats Morgan, she name drops Thrawn, and I know Jeff is somewhere. Jeff Garcia is somewhere just going
Yeah.
nuts at this point in time because I know he's a big Thrawn fan. So, Joe, what implications does this have on the Star Wars
Well,
universe?
let's put it like this. When was the last time we saw Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra for that matter? They were in that Star Destroyer, right? Remember
Yep.
that? And then we saw the purples, those big tentacle looking monsters that could go into hyperspace, and they kind of wrapped around the Star Destroyer, and that's the last we saw of them. And they just took off. Where? We don't know.
Yeah.
But apparently Grand Admiral Thrawn is still alive and well. You know? So that's probably why Ahsoka's wanting to know where Grand Admiral Thrawn is, because she wants to know, where's Ezra? You know, what did you do with him? Did he leave? Do you have him in prison somewhere? What's going on? You know, so that it was a big name drop, and it leads to huge other, huge revelations to things to come. Maybe not this season, but maybe in the next, which also immediately expands the storyline for the Mandalorian to go beyond Grogu, which is interesting to me.
Giancarlo Esposito, who plays Moff Gideon, has had interviews in the past where he's sort of said he's not really the big bad that we all think he is. And so now
I'm not that bad of a guy, he says. Yeah.
He's bad, but he's just not the brains behind the operation that we all think he is, even though he's wielding the Darksaber.
Yeah.
So now we're wondering, is Thrawn the guy who's really the glue that's keeping the remnants of the Empire together? Is he calling all the shots? And if so, I don't really know where this show's going now. Just like when we saw Bo-Katan a couple of episodes ago, played by Katie Sackhoff. And now we see Rosario Dawson played by... Sorry, what? Ahsoka Tano played by Rosario Dawson. These feel like other shows that are going on, and they have their own sort of storylines and plots that we're not really supposed to dive into. If Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau decide to start doing spin-offs for Bo-Katan and for Ahsoka Tano, I will be excited. I will love and support it 100%. But it's weird that these characters have things that are going on and we're learning so much about it. And yet I don't feel like Mando's going to be the catalyst to go through these storylines and we're going to figure out how these things all end. Does that make sense?
It does, and I had a theory behind that. I think I shared it with you, and I shared it with Jeff Garcia. The reason you're starting to see these little side quests almost, possibilities for branches in the story is because they're trying to set you up much like they did in the MCU, where they're trying to interconnect everything, because it feels like Disney wants to make a Mando movie. Now, at some point in time, they could have all these little tangents that they're kind of planting the seeds come to fruition in a movie that kind of connects everything together. But for the meantime, they're at least planting the seeds for things to come, which is kind of a smart build up to the story. You don't want to have it too climactic. You kind of want to gradually build these characters where it kind of feels organic more than forced. So I understand why they're kind of name dropping and putting little things out there,
Yeah. We're just finding out too many details about these characters and their motivations. And I'm like, we're not going to get answers to these things. Why do you keep telling us about what these characters are doing? I don't think we're going to see Bo-Katan again. I had a theory that maybe Mando joins their alliance and tries to take back Mandalore, but I'm kind of getting the feeling Mando's on his own from here on out. And I don't even know if what we find out from Ahsoka, what they need to do next, is take Grogu to Tython, allow him to choose his own path, and another Jedi may answer the call. As exciting as that sounds, we know that Moff Gideon knows exactly where Mando is at this point in time. And I don't think Mando's going to make it to Tython.
I think he will make it there.
If he does, they said he'll call out to the Force and choose his path. it may not be a Jedi that responds. It could be a Sith.
Hey,
Yeah,
Yep.
that's that's where this could go.
That
There you
would be a
go.
perfect opportunity to ambush Mando when he's with the
Yeah.
child and he's vulnerable. One of the key pivotal moments I thought in this episode too, where they had the opportunity to snatch the child, was when Mando went back to his ship and he says, "I'm going to go pick up the little guy and I'll bring him right back." And what does he do when he immediately gets into the ship? He takes off his jetpack and he puts it down. That's when he was vulnerable because he wasn't thinking clearly. He was thinking
Yeah.
more of, how am I going to break this news to this little guy that we're saying goodbye? You know, right then and there, that's when he's vulnerable. And they knew where he was at. I was expecting that attack to happen right then and there, you know, because he can't fly away, you know, and he's obviously, you're in a confined quarters. That would have been the perfect opportunity to snatch the child because he's not near Ahsoka. How is he going to even call for help? Because right there, he is totally vulnerable because he's alone, you know? So if you have a force behind Moff Gideon, what's he going to do? You know? So
I am so worried every time Mando leaves Grogu somewhere alone. Back when he left him at the school, I was like, that's a bad idea.
yeah,
And then he leaves Grogu on the Razor Crest by himself. I'm assuming with this like bay door open the entire time. Like, you don't know what creatures are out here. Grogu,
Yeah.
while he wields the Force, he's a tiny little thing. Anyways, I'm waiting for Moth to spring the trap. And I don't know. I'm not confident. I'm not saying that I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm saying I'm not confident that Mando's going to make it with Grogu to their destination. They have a tracker on the damn ship. Things are
yeah.
going to get bad from here on out. We have
Yeah.
3 more episodes, I believe, left to go in
Mhm.
season 2. And I feel like here on out, it's just going to be Mando and Grogu trying to survive.
We
I'm
have a
hoping for
comment.
more reveals, but not really sure.
We had a comment from Ryan
Uh-oh.
from Alamo City Movie Talk. He says Thrawn book proves he is alive and trying to bring the Empire back under his rule. Well, here's
There
the
you go.
problem with this is that Timothy Zahn's novels that they did of Grand Admiral Thrawn, they said that they were no longer canon. So they brought Grand Admiral Thrawn back again, and Timothy Zahn did another novel that they say is canon now, but it kind of changed a little bit as far as the story goes from the first 2 novels to this new iteration. So I understand where he's coming from, but it's like, what book are we talking about? You know, because one of them's no longer canon, and there were a lot of good Star Wars books that were out there. One of them in particular
yeah.
that I like from Timothy Zahn, where they showed the death, or they had the death of Chewbacca going out like a beast on top of this moon, getting destroyed, and he's all doing his little royal, you know, and the moon gets destroyed, and that's how he goes. But he went out like a warrior anyway. I'm digressing, but the Thrawn novelizations, the first 2 were not canon. The new one that came out is canon. So
There you go. That's the end of the episode. Epic. That's what it was. Fantastic. I know that all the Star Wars fans are rejoicing. We also had some more comments on social media. Daniel wrote, "This cements we need a Rebels epilogue sequel series." Hashtag where is Ezra Bridger? I also agree. Where the hell is he? Mike, who's been on the show before, said, "Well, I guess we can end the issue on the podcast about what to call him. Might be the best episode of the series to date. Can't argue with that."
Yeah.
Let's see here. Tyrell wrote, "Time to find Ezra." A lot of Ezra fans out there.
yeah, I'm all for Ezra, man. I hope the little bugger reaches out and go to the light side, and Ezra answers the call. How epic would that be?
I'm saying it's the Star Wars way. The second one, the sequel, the bad guys always win. This is kind of the sequel. And
This is the
that's where I'm
ESB,
All right,
Empire
hang on,
Strikes
hang on.
Yeah.
Back.
So yeah, exactly.
JC, I don't want you to talk bad about our followers. Top
I'm
fan
not.
Richard Redding, just wait. Top fan
Okay.
Richard Redding said, "Grogu won't stick. He's Baby Yoda, damn it." Also, he may literally be Yoda's baby since he was training at the Jedi Temple at the same time Yoda was there.
Yeah.
And I think we had one more comment. I'll look for right now.
Well, Jedi aren't supposed to have kids, supposedly. The only one that we know of is Anakin, right? So, who knows? I mean, maybe Yoda's getting busy.
There you
It's
go.
possible,
Do you have a Baby Yoda visit, Ted?
I do. We always need to have one, like every episode. So
The
Here's,
star of the
Good
show.
child, right, Ryan? Yeah.
hello, say hello, everybody.
Hi.
Say
lady.
I should be asleep, but when Daddy said go to
Yes.
sleep, you said no.
Yeah, she
She
wants
literally
her.
told me no when I asked her to go to sleep.
She knows what time it is, Ted. She wants her time to shine,
She
man.
needs to charge her
There you go.
AirPods.
Say hi.
Apparently, too.
Say hi.
Hi.
Are those mine? Those are mine. What do you do with my AirPods?
She's like, I see Dad use these all the time. Let's see what they do.
Yeah.
She's probably gonna go watch Coco for about the 1 millionth time.
Oh man.
Right now.
Well, at least she has some good taste, Ted.
Mhm.
She really does. She absolutely loves it. She also loves Grogu. So we need to get her like a Grogu shirt or
Hey,
something.
JC's
Mhm.
kids love Grogu too.
Yeah,
We
that
have,
is that's a surprise for them for Christmas. That found a pretty huge. I mean, this thing is like this big.
Wow. Almost
Wow.
life
Bucks at
size.
Costco. It is huge. Pretty impressive. So if your Costco has one, you better go quick. So yeah.
We have two more comments.
Mhm.
One from top fan James Lee, who said, "I am a big fan of Rosario Dawson anyway, so yeah, it was awesome." And also, John Wicker wrote, "Don't follow Clone Wars, but she played a good part. I'm just old school Star Wars fan, but Mandalorian is kicking ass and bringing back old characters that didn't get enough screen time." John, I applaud you, sir. Agree 100%.
Now, before you go on, did y'all see Kevin Smith's post about the episode?
I did, but I'm not gonna read it.
No, I didn't see it. What do you say?
Here we go. He says, woke up at 2 a.m. to see Becky make her debut in The Mandalorian. I watched it twice in a row because Rosario Dawson was absolute perfection. Huge congrats to Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. So many connections in Star Wars lore were made in this epic episode. But the big lesson, you never go Ahsoka to mouth. And
Oh
if you've seen
man.
Clerks 2, you get the reference. Yes, so
There you go.
I
Wow.
love Clerks 2. That's one of my favorite Kevin Smith movies. It's so good. Yeah.
Fantastic. If you're watching now or if you watch this video later, let us know what you thought about the latest episode of The Mandalorian. What did you think of Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka Tano? We want to hear from you. Write a comment on this video or send us a message by clicking the send message button on Facebook. Or you can always email us by visiting the contact page of our website at www.countdowntothegeekcast.com.
I heard a
Gentlemen,
little inside thing that if we get like at least maybe 1,000 likes on this, that Ted would go streaking. Just playing.
I think that's what Jericho dared me to do.
Yeah, Jericho said nobody wants to see that. So
Oh, man.
we're moving on now because winter is coming, Ted.
Winter is coming, and it's been a while since we've done sort of a fun event with the followers on social media. So I thought it best we do something special for the month of December.
Oh boy.
Joe, do you have that template? I'm gonna go ahead and drop
Yeah.
it right now.
I got it. We're switching scenes now.
We're switching scenes.
Right
Ladies
I'm
now.
and
gonna see it on
gentlemen,
a delay, so I have no idea what's going on here. So
ladies and gentlemen, for the month of December, we are going to be
Uh,
holding the
hold on. Jericho may
battle.
be joining us, by the way. Go ahead. Yes.
I guess I'll wait for him.
It was a joke. You said right when we're gonna end the show, you're gonna get Jericho.
Hang on. No, this is the epic tease right now, right?
Oh, man.
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll.
Hang on. He
For
said,
the-
sorry, he just now fell asleep. Or y'all still on? I said, yes, get on here. So we
Get
already-
in here.
Oh, and I'm seeing the template. Oh my god.
Here we go. For the month of December, we are going to be holding a sort of March Madness-esque tournament known as Battle of the Santas, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
We need to have the echo effect, right? Battle.
Battle. I don't know where Jericho's at. So what does this mean? If you joined us in join our March Madness Marvel tournament event, what we did was have multiple rounds of head-to-head Marvel voting polls, And lo and behold, Endgame ended up being your decision, you followers and fans out there, of the greatest Marvel movie ever. And we also put MCU movies up against like Sony movies and a few Fox
Fox.
movies. A couple of them were pretty good.
Yeah.
So Endgame reigned supreme, I believe. Right? Endgame ended up winning
I
that
think
one.
Endgame ended up winning. Yeah. So
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna have a battle of the Santas. All your favorite cinematic, some animated Santas. Put them head to head against one another. We're gonna have voting polls every week, 4 rounds of voting, and we're going to find out which Santa Claus reigns supreme. Now, I'm kind of trying to stall here to see if Jericho gets on pretty
Oh, he
soon.
just texted. He said the baby woke up again.
he said the baby's crying again. Yeah, I know.
No worries, no worries, man. No
He's got a
worries.
newborn, man. That's the life.
Yep.
Yeah, this
That's-
is the way.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
So, how's this going to work out? I've compiled a list of actors that played Santa Claus,
Oh my
actors
God.
that voiced Santa Claus, and actors that probably got really drunk and put on a Santa Claus outfit for the majority of a film. And what we're going to do is
That
the
Santa
geek-
better win this whole damn thing.
Damn
But
right.
Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Hang on.
Uh-huh.
What we're going to do is the Geekcasters are going to take the list of the top 16 characters or actors, and we're actually going to rank them tonight. And tomorrow we will start round 1 of the Battle of the Santas tournament. And so we'll rank them, figure out the seeding, and then we'll
Okay.
go ahead and start the voting tomorrow. Let's go ahead and call out our contestants
All
in
right.
no particular order. First, we have Tim Allen from The Santa Claus, probably a top
Mhm.
candidate right there. We also have the gentleman that JC just mentioned, Billy Bob Thornton from the Bad Santa film.
That's my favorite. He wins already. No need to continue, Ted.
You guys might have forgotten about Alec Baldwin, who voiced the animated Santa Claus in Rise of the Guardians.
Mhm.
One of my personal favorites, Douglas Seal, who played Santa Claus in Ernest Saves Christmas. Throwback there. Not a Santa Claus character, but Dan Aykroyd, who had a terrible night in Trading Places and was wearing a Santa outfit during a very low part of his life there.
Oh my lord.
That's a great one. Major throwback, Miracle on 34th Street, the 1947 film.
Oh, wow.
Gotta go
Santa
original.
played by Edmund Glenn.
Yeah.
We also had Miracle on 34th Street, the 94 version, and Santa Claus played by Richard Attenborough. We also have Tom Hanks, I forget the name of the film, who played Santa Claus in the Polar Express.
Oh.
Oh.
Can't forget about Tom Hanks, another animated version.
Mhm.
Paul Giamatti, who played kind of Santa Claus in Fred Claus. Again, probably a big favorite right now. Kurt Russell, who plays Santa Claus in the
Christmas
film The Christmas Chronicles. Also, sequel is on Netflix. Check
Yep.
it out. It's pretty good.
And he has his well, they're not his wife, but his partner in the film as well, Goldie Hawn.
There you go. Ed Asner, who played Santa Claus on Elf. Got to be a favorite there. A Christmas Story had a mall Santa played by Jeff Gillen. He makes the list. Ho, ho, ho.
And then pushes the
Just
kid with
shoot
the
your
shoe.
eye out, kid. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Another throwback, Stan Francis, who voiced Santa Claus on the claymation animated movie Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the 1964 version. Big throwback there.
Classic.
They even did a claymation version of the origins of Santa. I don't know if you all ever seen that. And I thought it was
Santa
really
Claus is
good.
coming to town, right?
Yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
it was
you're
really
right.
good. Yeah.
Yep.
You're right. We also have Edward Ivory, who voiced Santa Claus on A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
This one is kind of a fun one. Jim Belushi, who played Mall Santa in Jingle All the Way.
Oh,
Check
man.
that one out if you don't remember
I
that
remember.
scene. That was
I remember
hilarious.
that.
remember. Yes.
And last but not least, Richard, hope I say this right, Ryle, who played Santa Claus and who was shot in a very Harold and Kumar Christmas. I don't know if you guys remember that scene.
You know, I remember that scene. This is a tough list, but I'm surprised you don't have David Huddleston. Do you know
What
who I'm
movie is
talking
that one?
about?
I don't.
Santa Claus the movie, 1985. It is a classic Santa Claus movie. Basically, the origin of Santa and how it starts. John Lithgow's in that movie as well. But for me, growing up, that was like the Santa Claus movie. I'm showing my age. Obviously, I was born in '81, but David Huddleston played Santa Claus in that movie, and it's how it started as him being Kris Kringle and how he got to the North Pole, found the toys. Yeah,
and that might be something we need to discuss. That way, we probably put him into this list, and might need to drop somebody. But probably looking at you, Dan Aykroyd. But that's it. That's our list. Geekcasters will take this list, and we're gonna rank all of these actors and from best to worst. That will be our seeding for the tournament. And then we will start voting tomorrow. So can't wait to see what happens. But we'll give out all the details this week. We want all of you geeks and geekettes out there to participate in our Battle of the Santas, not so March Madness event. I don't know, I just made that up right now. And it'll be fun. Can't wait to see what happens. The last time we did one of these, we had over 2,000 votes throughout the entire event, I believe. So, yeah, it was a great time, and can't wait to do it again. Thoughts, gentlemen? JC, you down?
I like the idea. Yeah, we. It almost feels like a preseason March Madness tournament in college basketball, right?
There you go.
Been delayed enough, you know. So.
I can dig it, dude. You're doing this right before the NBA season starts to really come together because we're about maybe a week away, I guess, now from the start of training camp. So, wow.
This year, yeah. So
we got that. I'm looking forward to it. I think the fans will dig it.
It'll be exciting, and it'll be interesting because, like I said, some of these Santa Claus characters are near and dear to our hearts. Others are Billy Bob Thornton.
That's near and dear to my heart.
Who knows what could happen?
Yeah.
Who absolutely knows? Anything can happen. So it'll be exciting. Can't wait to get into it. And keep an eye out this week for Battle of the Santas, a not-so March Madness event. All right. And that'll do it for this episode of the Countdown to the Geekcast. Once again, let us know what you thought about The Mandalorian. What did you think about Ahsoka Tano? Send us a message, write a comment below on this video, or you can send us an email on the contact page of our website at www.countdowntothegeekcast.com. For the Geekcast, my name is Steady. With me on this episode is the man, the myth, the legend. You know him as JC.
Thanks for watching and listening. Appreciate everyone participating, and I'll set up a GoFundMe to send me to Super Nintendo World. One day I'll get there eventually. So
there you go.
We'll see.
And the man behind the magic, our production technician, the one and only Joe Garcia.
Hey everybody, I'm with JC. Let's send JC over to Super Nintendo World. He deserves it. We should start you a GoFundMe. Let's get that started ASAP. So hopefully by the time everything opens up, you'll have enough to go.
Yeah, let's hope.
Yeah,
see in
there
5
you go.
years.
But, just wanted to say thanks to everybody who watched and everybody who commented and everybody who's going to watch the replay. We greatly appreciate your support. So make sure you go ahead and give us a like and, put on those alerts so you can get notified when we go live.
There you are. We'll see you next week. Have a good night, folks.
Peace.
Later.
Hey guys, Agent Ivan here. For more Geekcast episodes, subscribe to us on your podcast app and please write us a review. Be sure to like us at Facebook at facebook.com/CountdownCityGeekcast. Follow us on Twitter at ccg_podcast or visit our website at www.countdowncitygeekcast.com. See you later, guys.